A confession has surfaced. Not a rumor, not speculation, not a whisper passed through social media, but a direct, spoken confession reportedly linked to the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. And within moments of that revelation, the internet erupted. Some are calling it the breakthrough everyone has been waiting for. Others are calling it a distraction, perhaps even a calculated stunt. But tonight, we are not here to react emotionally. We are here to analyze. Because after years of examining real investigations, one truth remains constant. A confession is not the end of a case. It is often just the beginning. Before we go any further, if you believe in truth, accountability, and justice, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. This is where we break down complex cases with clarity, not chaos. Now, let's get into it. A person, reportedly not just an online commentator, but a real individual, has come forward and allegedly confessed to being involved in the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan. According to early reports, this was not a vague statement. It was not a careless remark made in passing. It was detailed. The individual allegedly described movements, interactions, and key moments tied to the disappearance. Some sources claim the person admitted to being physically present when critical events occurred. In fact, one reported statement stands out. "Yes, I was there." To many watching this unfold, that sounds definitive, final, like the mystery has finally been solved. But in real investigations, nothing is ever that simple. And there is a common misconception, one that spreads quickly in high-profile cases, that a confession equals closure. It does not, because anyone can say, "I did it." The real question is, do they know the details that only the true perpetrator would know? Do they understand the timeline? Do they reference facts that have never been made public? Or are they simply repeating information already circulating in the media? This is where the line between truth and performance becomes clear. History has shown us that false confessions are not rare. In fact, they occur more often than many people realize. Some individuals confess under intense pressure during interrogations. Others do so due to psychological distress or a desire for attention. And in some cases, confessions are strategic, designed to mislead investigators, protect someone else, or control the narrative before authorities close in. So tonight, we are not celebrating a confession. We are dissecting it. Every credible confession must pass one critical test: the timeline. Here is what we know based on previously established facts. Lily and Jack Sullivan were last publicly seen on May 1st, reportedly with family, during what appeared to be a normal day. By the following morning, May 2nd, at approximately 10:01 a.m., a missing persons report had been filed. Somewhere between those 2 points in time, the children vanished. That window, those critical hours, is where the truth lies. Now, let's apply the confession to that timeline. Does the confessor claim the children disappeared during the evening of May 1st? Do they place themselves at the scene before or after key reported events? Do they reference known details, such as the activities of family members, specific movements, or exact times? Or does their account fail to align with established facts? Because if the timeline does not match, the confession begins to fall apart. To understand this situation fully, we must examine not just what was said, but why it may have been said. There are several reasons individuals confess to crimes they did not commit. Pressure during interrogation, mental health struggles, desire for attention or notoriety, fear or coercion, intent to protect another person. And then there is perhaps the most complex scenario, a strategic confession. This occurs when someone deliberately steps forward, not necessarily to tell the truth, but to reshape the direction of an investigation. It can buy time. It can shift suspicion. It can create confusion. And in cases involving missing children, confusion can be dangerous. Because every moment spent chasing false leads is a moment taken away from finding the truth. Now that this confession has entered the case, the responsibility shifts to investigators. And their process is methodical. They will ask, does the confessor provide details that have not been released publicly? Do they identify specific locations that can be searched? Can they lead authorities to physical evidence? Do their statements align with phone records, GPS data, surveillance footage, or witness accounts? Because in the legal system, a confession alone is not enough to secure a conviction. It must be supported by evidence. Without that, it remains just a claim. A false confession does more than mislead. It can derail an entire investigation. It can redirect resources. It can create false hope. It can delay justice. In some cases, it can even allow the real perpetrator to escape scrutiny. That is why investigators must remain cautious. Every detail must be verified. Every claim must be tested. Because the stakes are incredibly high. 2 children are still missing. And every decision matters. If this confession is genuine, the implications are significant. It could introduce new individuals into the investigation. It could challenge previous assumptions. It could shift focus away from current suspects, or intensify scrutiny on them. It may even provide the missing piece needed to locate Lily and Jack. But if the confession proves false, the consequences are equally serious. It could waste valuable time. It could misdirect law enforcement. And it could deepen the complexity of an already fragile. Another critical question remains. Who is the person behind this confession? Are they connected to the family? Were they present during key moments? Do they have a history that raises concerns about credibility? Or are they an outsider inserting themselves into a high-profile case? Understanding the individual is just as important as analyzing their statement. Because credibility matters. Motivation matters. Timing matters. Beyond the investigation, this confession has already had an impact on the wider community. Families are watching. Neighbors are speculating. Online discussions are intensifying. Hope rises, but so does uncertainty. And in situations like this, it is easy for speculation to overtake facts. That is why responsible analysis is essential, because misinformation can harm not only the investigation, but the people involved. At the center of all of this, one question remains. Is this confession the truth? Or is it another layer of confusion in a case already filled with unanswered questions? Because, until it is verified, it is neither a solution nor closure. It is simply a possibility. A confession has entered the story of Lily and Jack Sullivan. But remember this. A confession is only as powerful as the truth behind it. The investigation continues. The questions remain. And somewhere, someone knows more than they have said. If you have thoughts grounded in facts, share them in the comments. Let's keep this discussion focused on truth, not speculation. And if you want updates as this case develops, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Because this story is far from over. For Lily, for Jack, justice must come first.